Hi guys, today I'm talking about what to do if you've lost all faith in men or in women or in all of humanity. So my name is Kathleen, and if you're new here, I make a lot of videos on natural health and well-being, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and environmentally. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and if you like topics like this, check out the links in the description for more. And this is Bailey. She's kind of itchy right now. So the first thing when you feel like you've lost all faith in men, women, or humanity is to let out your feelings. So I'm making a video on how to let out anger in a healthy way. I'll link that in this video description once it's out. But whatever you can do to let out your feelings in a healthy way, it might be through journaling, it might be through moving, it might be through like, just like yelling if you're in a space where it's safe or you feel like you're able to, or you can yell into a pillow or something. Even swimming, like just moving stuff around sometimes can really help. Like playing drums, because that's something that's very tribal and in us, in humanity, is like these motions that let out energy in a healthy way, like drumming, singing, artistic expression. So expressing your feelings, even therapy, different ways of letting out emotions. So expressing your emotions in a healthy way, but just letting them out so that they aren't stagnating. And then once you feel like you've let out all those feelings and you might be feeling really exhausted or tired from having let out these emotions, then it's time to shift something within you. So the human brain has a negativity bias, which means that so many things can be going well in our lives, but we're kind of designed in a way to focus, or we get a higher response whenever there's something negative happening. So a higher response in our brain, and that's because we've evolved to really value our safety and to see danger and respond to it in a way where it's like, that's dangerous or threatening, like do something to get yourself safe. So what happens is we could have experiences with men or women or humans in general, and they might be 80% good, 20% bad, but we're going to focus mostly on that 20% because it evokes a higher response rate in our brain, in our bodies. So it actually takes more effort for us to be focusing on the positive or on the good. And this is where positive affirmations can help us to kind of retrain our brain to be open to the positive aspects. So if we've been burned in some way by men, whether it's through dating, and we're saying things like, oh, I've been cheated on and lied to, and they're all like this, and men are this way, and you're kind of putting this image in your head or these thoughts of they must all be like this, and you're focusing on all the bad. Well, I'm sure there's also been probably hundreds of things that men have done to you that have been also incredible and amazing, and why aren't we focusing on those things? So that's where using a positive affirmation can help, and one that I really like is, if it's specifically for men, it's the same one, but you'll switch it to men or women or humans. So you can say, there are good men, there are great men, there are amazing men, and repeating that. There are good men, there are great men, there are amazing men. And as you repeat that, you can even use mala beads. I made a video on using mala beads for affirmations and things like that. I'll link that in the description and up here. So whether you use mala beads or you're just repeating it, as you're repeating it, you might start having memories that come into your brain of different times where men have been really good and really great and really amazing. And if it's towards women, you would say, there are good women, there are great women, there are amazing women. There are good women, there are great women, there are amazing women. And allowing that to sort of seep into the cells of your body through your pores, you know, like it kind of becomes programmed within you then to be believing that there are good people. So if it's towards humanity in general, there are good people, there are great people, there are amazing people. There are good people, there are great people, there are amazing people. And one of the issues with the news, I actually made a video on mind control in the media, so I'll also link that for you guys, is that they know that the human brain responds so much in a big way to negativity. So they're showing all this negative stuff, and it's really creating all this sensationalism, and it can create skepticism and fear and all these things where when people are in that state, they're very easy to control. So watch that video if you haven't already and you want to understand a bit more about this. But it's something that we're already kind of naturally inclined to be focusing on the negative, and the news tends to really play on that and make things worse for us in a sense. So I really encourage you to instead be using these positive affirmations and then remembering all the positive things that may have happened in your life. So there are good people, there are great people, there are amazing people. Or there are good men, there are great men, there are amazing men. And saying this, I did that one day where I was using that affirmation. Something had happened. We've all been through things in our life. And something had happened, and I processed my emotions. I let out all of my anger, and then I felt exhausted from having let it out, and I started using that affirmation and repeating it over and over again. I was actually driving by myself on a road trip, so for like 4 or 5 hours that was my affirmation, and I was wearing mala beads, so I was going through as I was driving and like listening to music and repeating these affirmations, and it was just like the world felt like it just opened up to me. Like I looked around and it was like, wow, like I'm living in an incredible world, and I became so much more open to meeting other people, meeting other men, just being open to receiving from men, receiving compliments, receiving appreciation, whatever it may be. So it can really help just to put ourselves into this space that it can actually completely shift our lives. So if you're familiar with the law of attraction, then you know that if you're focusing on the negative, that's also what we end up seeing more of. Whereas when you focus on the positive and you're opening things up to yourself, it helps to allow more of those positive experiences to come to you. And an important thing too when you're in a relationship is knowing that negativity bias. You can then use that to your benefit, because studies have shown that couples that actually stay together are the ones who, they're going to have some negative stuff going on, but the typical ratio for couples that actually stay together and stay married is they have at least 5 positive interactions or positive things for every 1 negative. And that's because the 1 negative is going to have so much more weight to it that they need at least 5 positive things going with it. So if you're in a relationship and you notice yourself focusing on the negative, it's really important that anytime you focus on the negative, you're making sure you've got these other positive things. So whether that's giving the person compliments, giving them appreciation, focusing on the positive and telling them, even learning their love language can really help. So I'm going to make a video too on this and how to stay in a healthy relationship and cultivate it, because it's something that a lot of us haven't been taught in life, whether it's romantic relationships or even friendships, how to just have healthy relationships and focusing on the good and staying in that good space, and then also recognizing if there are just too many negatives that are outweighing the positives, also knowing when it's time to let go, because that might be for the best too. So anyways, I hope this video helps you guys in uplifting you and really remembering that there are good people, great people, and amazing people in this world and in your life. And I hope that you open up to the good that already is there, and then make yourselves even more open to even more good, because we've got constant streams of good pouring into us, and sometimes we might just be blocking ourselves off. So if you're wanting extra help on unblocking yourself, I have a free chakra balancing meditation for you guys, so I'll link that up here in the description, and that one's going to really help you unblock all of your energy within you to really open yourself up to the good that exists in yourself and in the world and in your life. And if you want to go even deeper, I have one-on-one sessions available, and I also have one-on-one coaching available. So if you're really ready to fully invest in yourself and level up in your relationships, your finances, your intuitive abilities, then make sure to check the links in the description and send me an email if you're really ready to fully invest and dive in to some one-on-one coaching with me. So thank you so much for being here. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. And may you be happy, healthy, and free. Bye. Say bye, Bailey. Bye, Bailey.